We got the never-ending self-sabotage of NBA YoungBoy.
NBA YoungBoy has never made things easy for himself. Even after he became a multimillionaire, the life he led meant that the law was never far behind. Spiraling into drug use and left stranded on house arrest with no real connection to the world beyond his fortress in Utah, YoungBoy has spent the past few years making enemies in the industry too. And with nowhere left to turn to and charges racking up, it seems like this time, YoungBoy might actually be cooked. It's your boy Luesta, and this is the story of the never-ending sabotage of NBA.
He's not cooked. He get out in about... I give the nigga 3 years max. 3 years max, and he'll be out. By that time, he'll be what, 28? Nigga, it's rappers right now who 28, 30. Some of the biggest niggas in the game. Come on, man. And this nigga got music stacked up. So if he really wanted to, all he gotta do is say, hey, can you compile an album of these few songs? And then just drop that bitch. And then he could do that, what, every 6 months, every year? He's not gonna be in there for long.
YoungBoy. At the moment, NBA YoungBoy is in the toughest spot of his entire life. Courtesy of a laundry list of charges against him, the rapper is now facing up to a decade behind bars. This has taken place after he had already spent the better part of the past few years on house arrest relating to a firearm charge. And now, his own fans are worried that this is the end of the line, placing most of the blame on his own inability to straighten up and fly right. If he wasn't cooked already, the fraud charge did it. All because he couldn't stay off the pills. I'm talking about burnt fries cooked. So here's a little bit of background on how he got to this tenuous point in his young life. Despite having 4 #1 albums on the bill.
Damn, my nigga been locked up for 5 months already? Hold on. Hold the fucking phone, bitch. They say that October 4th, motherfucker, April 17th, 2024. It's October 5th, 2024. So that's, damn, almost 6 months. Hey, bro, free my nigga, bro. Real shit. Like that nigga, he need to be out by the end of 2026, motherfucker.
Billboard 200, and even being the 3rd most streamed artist of 2020, YoungBoy has never been able to stay out of prison. In all honesty, the 2 constants in his life since he rose to fame have been releasing music and doing stints behind bars. And crazily, his current legal dramas started on the set of a music video where he was one of 16 people on federal gun charges. A dozen guns were seized after neighbors raised the alarm. And as a convicted felon, the feds, who YB's lawyers claim launched a campaign to get him in the pen known as Operation Never Free Again, threw the book at him. But it could have been a lot worse. He was placed on house arrest in his adopted home of Utah while serving out a probation violation and awaited trial. At this point, YoungBoy seemed to be imagining life after the ankle tag. As of November 2022, his manager was even teasing an upcoming tour alongside Quando Rondo that would controversially start in Chicago. But as of April of this year, the gun charges were about to become the least of his worries. While awaiting trial beginning in July, he was hauled by the authorities due to what they initially claimed was patterns of unlawful activity, procuring or attempting to procure drugs, identity fraud, forgery, possession of controlled substances, and possession of a dangerous weapon. In total, he was hit with 20 counts of identity fraud, 20 counts of obtaining a prescription under false pretenses, and over 20 counts of forgery. With all these felonies to what was described as a large-scale prescription fraud ring, it was obvious that YoungBoy had been busy with more than just music while trapped at his mansion in Utah. But this wasn't an operation intended to make YoungBoy rich, trapped at his mansion in Utah. But this wasn't an operation intended to make YoungBoy richer. Instead, it was a case of YoungBoy getting high off his own supply. As part of an elaborate scam, Youngboy had been posing as a doctor among other aliases to try and get his fix. This immediately set off alarm bells with pharmacists who felt that the way he talked was an immediate giveaway.
Usually don't get a doctor calling in a cough syrup themselves. That'll be like a nurse or something. But then just their medical terminology was off. The quantities, the way they pronounced the things, everything was suspicious.
In court documents, it was revealed that this wasn't a singular incident, with the filings claiming that the rapper, real name Contrell Golden, was accused of, quote, posing as medical professionals by contacting pharmacies and requesting prescriptions using the genuine names and birth dates of unsuspecting victims. Subsequently, his associates would allegedly collect the prescribed medications from neighboring pharmacies. Among the craziest accusations leveled at Youngboy was that he didn't just pose as a doctor, but as a little old lady by the name of Gwendolyn Cox. But the Baton Rouge accent betrayed his cover. Gwendolyn sounded as though she was a much younger male from the southern states, said an eyewitness who had allegedly been on the phone with Youngboy in disguise. Gwendolyn made a statement saying, "Well, I asked her to, and she said that she'll have you call me." This statement was a response to a request that was made to have Gwendolyn contact dispatch and have them transfer her call back through. I have lived in the southern United States. The terminology in replacing the word ask with ax or other variations is consistent with a southern dialect in states such as Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, and other southern states. After this call, two of Youngboy's associates were arrested in a car registered to him while attempting to retrieve the drugs. Even then, he wouldn't stop pursuing the prescription. Contrell Golden continued to attempt to further the prescription fraud by talking about the prescription and saying she on the hospital bed, referring to the patient Gwendolyn Cox from the previous day. As wild and almost comical as it seems, the lengths that Youngboy went to try to get these drugs have made his legal woes so much worse. But this whole situation also speaks to the depths of his addiction and how much it's consumed both his career and potential to finally make it out and enjoy the fame and fortune that his music has earned him. Ever since Youngboy rose to fame, there was no denying that he was an immediately troubled young man. It was one of the things that made his music so compelling, with his gritty street poetry painting such vivid pictures of a life that most of his listeners were lucky enough not to experience. But while this made him a millionaire, it's clear that it was a lot to carry around.
I have all bad days. I think I need help. I got an anger problem. I ain't no hiding from gun violence. I ain't no hiding from violence, period. It's either jail or death like Lily. I ain't no living out there.
Even as his success snowballed, he said in 2020 that he was struggling to escape the pearls of his life and was looking for any assistance that he could find.
I'm still in a dark place inside my life. I'm still hurting, but I'm still always praying though.
Although he never shied away from admitting he had taken drugs to take away the pain in his rhymes, his narcotics use has been an ongoing concern for fans in recent years. And now that it's led him to a 10-year sentence, it's obviously been one of the main contributing factors of his own downfall. In recent months, he shared disturbing photos which showed the extent of what he was getting himself into, such as this Instagram post that you're seeing on the screen, where the caption said, "And that's why I don't pick up the phone when it rings," with a picture showing him surrounded by Xanax and a cup of lean. This sparked concerns from fans who wonder what his motivations behind this are. Bro got everything in the world and wanna die so bad. Weird. I feel like these be cry for help and everyone laughs it off. In another instance, he seemed to be alerting the public to the pain he was in via his cat Neon's Instagram. "It's me, Neon. I've been seeing a lot. My dad's so unhealthy, it's scary. Even his mental. He blows his money making people smile who don't care to see the signs that's literally in their face. 20 Xans a day, please #help. P.S. My bowl Celine and my first Birkin bag on the way. But what really matters is him." But what the cat did to raise awareness of the situation is more than what his friends have. Acting more like enablers than anything, they just seem to be there to document it rather than try to stop it. 10 at one time ain't safe. I've seen him do 32 in one night. I promise I'm here to talk to him every day. Which was followed by a photo of Youngboy with a mouth full of Xanax. Surrounded by yes men, Youngboy has gotten himself into a dangerous spot. YB is beyond fucked on benzos. 32 in one night? That's 64 milligrams of Xanax. This man is beyond physically addicted to them and will seize out / literally die if he tries to get off the bars without a medical taper. With nothing but enablers around him and nowhere to go, Youngboy has spent much of the last few years stuck getting high in the mountains of Utah. And in papers filed by his lawyers, they argued that his inability to get off of house arrest was only making things worse. Last year, they cited that the deterioration of Mr. Golden's mental health was due to the long period of social isolation. In that time, he's even become a Mormon in an attempt to find some meaning in his life. While at the same time, he's grown increasingly paranoid to the point that he allegedly had 2 of his baby mamas beat up another one of his baby mamas over a custody dispute.
Hitting your son's mom in the face with a gun is crazy. Letting her get hit in the face with a gun is crazy. I left with so much blood, bro. It's blood on my son. I just had to go to Target and grab him a quick little outfit before our flight.
With all that going on, it's no surprise that in interviews, he continually seems like he's at a loss. With all the traumas of his past being numbed by narcotics, but never fully eluded.
I'm terrified of people. I am very scared of people. Like on my kids. I am terrified of people. And I am very shy. But I never knew why once I walk on the stage, I could get it done and leave. People are cruel. It's like you can't control ourselves. So you never know what someone will do you.
In the time that he spent locked up at home, Youngboy has clearly spiraled. But it turns out that it's not just mental well-being that's in freefall, it's his career as well. Because the same petition to change the terms of his house arrest also argued that his prolonged detention was also damaging his career. They said that analysis by his label, Atlanta Records, indicated that sales have suffered due to his limited ability to produce quality recordings. Music and entertainment is Mr. Golden's only way of earning a living and supporting his family, the Star's attorney said. Mr. Golden has exhausted all his options for recording in his home with a very limited production crew. Back at the height of his career, everything Youngboy touched became a smash with his fans. But his last mixtape peaked at number 17 on the charts, with his last number 1 on the billboards coming in April of 2020. No longer commanding the excitement of the past, Youngboy has been basically recording on his lonesome in recent years with the same producers and little to no features. And unfortunately for YB, this might not be a choice, because whether it's record execs or fellow artists, NBA Youngboy has burned a lot of bridges in recent years. And if you ever wondered why you don't see a lot of rappers declaring free Youngboy, then that's why. For a long time now, Youngboy's career has been in a state of constant chaos. As I went in depth on in our video about the worst contracts in hip hop, YB was saddled with a shoddy record deal out of the gate from Atlantic that eventually had him offering to do albums for free just to get his masters. For a while, you couldn't put a microphone in his face without hearing that he had money stolen from him.
As you get signed, and I think as you learn the business, you learn like how badly you been taken advantage of. It's like with YouTube, I ain't never got paid from YouTube a day in my life. Nigga make all the money off my YouTube and then give me a small percentage out my shit. Fuck you, like all that shit, slavers.
While on house arrest, he even considered leaving rap behind entirely. On his IG, he posted a photo of a hard drive and declared that you can have it for 100 million and I'll never rap again on everything.
I done found time for myself, nigga. Hey, every $15 million tour come my way getting turned down. I don't want to do no show. I don't want nothing but a bigger house, nigga. It gave me time to myself. My daughter know who I am.
But when he wasn't trying to throw in the towel, Youngboy has been fighting against what he sees as the injustice of the industry. Because in his opinion, his outspokenness about the major record companies has led him to be blackballed. He even claimed that Atlantic had purposefully stopped Colors, one of his final releases on the label, from reaching the top of the charts. I was going number 1 for 2 weeks straight with a mixtape, so they took it down off the charts. I don't give a fuck. You still can't stop me, he wrote via a YouTube community post. Don't sign to Atlantic. If you an artist, they not gonna support you, especially if you live a certain way. Why blackball me? I'm the good guy. Despite signing a deal with Motown in 2023, recent interviews have made it clear that he wants nothing to do with hip-hop, not even the recognition of the mark he's left on the genre.
Yeah, do you want that accolade to, like, of what you said? Like, you obviously know you've influenced the whole generation and influenced so many other rappers, like, you know.
I just want to be paid. I don't know, but I think this whole music thing, like every aspect of it, like it's all ignorance. I just want to be paid. Yeah, I don't care about all the extra shit.
But wishing to separate yourself from the culture is one thing. What Youngboy doesn't mention is that in recent years, he has almost entirely alienated himself from the hip-hop industry. First, there was the Lil Durk beef, which I covered at length in my Victims of Youngboy video. The gist is that Youngboy's connection with Quando Rondo, a never broke again signee and King Von's rival, along with Rondo's associate Lil Tim, who killed Von, created serious tension between Youngboy and the city of Chicago. To top it off, Youngboy released several lines in his music that seemed to take shots at Von, making the situation even worse. A cold war between Durk and YB was born as a result, with each man taking shots at each other on record, and even leading to a potential Kanye vs 50 style sales showdown before Durk's Almost Healed record got pushed back. With Durk being one of the most popular and profitable artists in the game today, feuding with him basically shrank overnight. And as 21 Savage explained, YB siding with Von's killer meant that he was basically guilty by association, and that's a line most artists aren't willing to cross.
And a lot of niggas fuck with Durk, so a lot of niggas with Youngboy shit because they fuck with Durk.
It's not gangs and shit like that. It's a music business, like, you know what I mean? You might fuck with both of them, but nigga, you might want to have a song with both of them at one point.
I feel like you gotta
pick sides.
You gotta be a
Yo, somebody told me that shit.
If it's me, don't be in my face, like, and then be fucking with a nigga who you know killed my boy. Like, I ain't keep your bitch ass over there. We ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. Personally, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna down there treat you like you one of them.
Now, on the surface, this shouldn't affect Youngboy that much. In interviews, he's insisted that he doesn't even listen to any other artists.
You listen to Polo G?
Fuck no, man. What type of games you playing?
Man, I'm just asking, man.
No. Shit. Man, you know.
Nah, ain't no crazy shit like Savage, like Savage, my nigga. You know what I mean? Like he dope.
Fuck no.
What about Young and Ace?
No, crazy. Fuck no, nigga. Shit, no.
Baby.
No.
But the end product of all this anger and resentment towards other artists has meant that where other rappers will support their fellow MCs, no one shows up for him.
Why do y'all think the industry support was so low? When Drake dropped, everybody and their mama posted his album. Everybody. And by the way, I understand why. Like, number one, if Drake hasn't helped you already, you want to stay in his good graces and you want to seem like you're supporting him. Remember back in the day when artists like Durk and even Meek, they used to tweet out that, yo, you don't post my album, they feel offended by it. So you see nowadays, if Thug drops, the whole industry posts it. Gunna drops, the whole industry posts it. You get me? Travis drops, the whole industry posts it. Youngboy dropped, and it was not that many. Now, you might say, well, Youngboy don't fuck with nobody. And that's true. But I will say, Youngboy in the last year has been on collabs with Future, Migos, Nicki Minaj. Did all of them post his album? Did they show the support? I think that Youngboy would.
I'm being 100. The reason why niggas don't support Youngboy is because they wanna the people he just named, they wanna do songs with Drake. I understand Future may not be cool with Drake now, but if Youngboy was to drop an album right now, Future not posting that shit. Cause at some point, Future wanna get back right with Drake, so they could lock in, make another album. Bro, it's a matter of it's a matter of niggas picking this side over that side. I'm not whispering, bro. This is how I talk.
Was used in a good capacity for other artists when they needed singles. Did they reciprocate?
Even before tracks like Fuck the Industry Part 2, where he dissed the likes of Drake, J. Cole, Lil Yachty, and Young Miami, among others, YB has proven that he doesn't care about the consequences of blowing off rappers. Because he actively blew off a studio session with Cole and left him sitting there for 8 hours just because he wasn't feeling it.
Clear J. Cole up, man. They lied. They say I ain't gonna go to the studio with him. I know who told somebody that too though. Because it was only a few people who knew about that. And that wasn't even the case. I was mad at the moment. I was going through something. So what the fuck I'm gonna go in this main studio session for a meet up with him, knowing that I ain't in the mode to talk or just to be, or in the mode to, to fuck around. So I get around this man, I be acting like a bitch or something, or what the fuck I'm gonna go around this man for if I know I ain't in the mood to talk.
I'm not whispering. I literally talk low. I have a soft voice, and I just talk low, bro. I don't mean to be whispering. If you think I'm whispering, I'm gonna just start yelling for you. Then you want me to start yelling at you? I can yell at you. You want me to yell at you?
Talk to nobody or sit there or just even be around somebody. What the fuck am I gonna go around for?
An introvert in a genre of extroverts, YB is a man who can count his allies on one hand. And recently, he dispatched another one by dissing Birdman. When Youngboy was on the rise, Cash Money's Birdman heaped praise on his fellow Louisianan rapper.
I think NBA Youngboy might be the biggest rapper. I said that 5 years ago.
What you mean big when you say big?
Ain't no nigga gonna be bigger than NBA Youngboy. Numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
When that little boy get his mind right and he come from under this bullshit, so when he come out here, he know one thing: the shit he was doing, he ain't got to do because he could get this little nigga here, bro. Young NBA Youngboy, bro. That shit ain't normal. Nah, he not normal. He's special, bro. He's a $1 billion nigga in flesh. He gonna get it in touring, merchant, music.
Over time, Birdman's unwavering belief in Youngboy, or at least his desire to get a slice of the pie, led to collaborations and even a full mixtape from the two of them. But sadly, Baby's prediction that Youngboy would get his mind right and stay out of trouble never came to fruition. Now, in the last track recorded before heading to jail, known as Tears of War, YB took shots at Baby, spitting, with foes in both law enforcement and the rap game on all sides, Youngboy seems to have accepted his fate. After taking a plea deal in his 2020 firearms charge, YB was immediately hit with another one on top of all the other hefty jail terms he's facing for the prescription fraud ring. At the moment, the future doesn't look too bright for Youngboy, and to be honest, it's just saddening that he's still in this predicament when back in 2017, he seemed to have clarity to understand that if he messed up, then he'd be the one to take the fall. You do something, they're gonna come get you, and whoever you're with and whatever they do, you're accountable for it just because you got the biggest name. Back then, it seemed like there was real hope that he would change his ways. In those days, it's likely that neither YB nor his fans imagined they would still be hijacking his court proceedings all those years later to demand his freedom.
Another preliminary.
Now go free YB, man. Free YB.
Everyone needs to stay muted.
Bro, I'm stuck on this nigga in this chat. Bro, you talking about turn the lights on. You talking about you can't see my face. Bro, you can't see my face. You can't see my eyes because this glare is gonna fuck. It's not gonna let you see my eyes, bro. The glare from the fucking fuck what this is from the monitor, from the screen, is gonna fuck my. It's not gonna let you see my eyes up, bro. It's not gonna let you see my eyes.
Okay.
Whether it was fame, beef, or the narcotics that he's so clearly dependent on, YB's vision has become clouded since those days. Now it seems like that is the fate that awaits him for many years. But while they're sad to see a man they call top behind bars, a lot of YB fans understand that he has no one to really blame for sabotaging his life and career than Youngboy. I'm a Youngboy fan, but I gotta call out bullshit. He was already out on bond with Fed charges pending. Not only that, his lawyers had it good for him. They was waiting on the Supreme Court to rule about felons with guns. All he had to do was wait. He put this on himself. If YB's tragic case reminds us of anything, it's that there's a reason why they call it the trap. Because although he may live in Utah, the life he led in Baton Rouge never left him. And the more money he had, the more he could
What they say, you could take a nigga out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the nigga. That's really what it is.
Medicate to handle what he has seen and done. Now facing years behind bars, a fellow New Orleans rap legend worries that there's every chance he'll slide deeper into that spiral in the pen.
I just feel like when you need help, you need help. I mean, I was facing jail time. This right before I went, and I couldn't get off the weed and codeine. Like,
So Cody,
I needed help. I never, when I got to prison, I did more codeine than I was doing on the streets. I needed help. It was no amount of time that I was facing that, and
Cody,
I needed help. I couldn't need help. You need help.
Every chance he'll slide deeper into that spiral in the pen.
I just feel like when you need help, you need help. I mean, I was facing jail time. This right before I went, and I couldn't get off the weed and codeine. Like,
so Cody,
I needed help. I never, when I got to prison, I did more codeine than I was doing on the streets. I needed help. It was no amount of time that I was facing that could make me get off it. Vlad, you gotta understand, we been needing help. I was sent straight to prison. I was never even off of rehab.
Despite all of his talent and the love of his fan base, the road ahead is bumpy for Youngboy. Let's just hope that there's some way he could bounce back from all of this whenever he is finally released from the dark bed that he's made for himself. My name is Luesta, and I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. I'll catch you on the next one.
Whatever you say, nigga.